Good morning, Zio here, and today we're talking Square and NFTs. So grab yourself some coffee, sit back, relax, and let's get into it, shall we? And if you haven't done it already, down below is social media links to TikTok and other things. You should totally go join me there. Click the follow button, that sort of thing, and let's do all that. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you should go ahead and do that too as well. But yeah, today we're talking about Square Enix and NFTs, and I can't see because there's a dang smudge on my glasses, because why not? Yeah, we're doing this right now. Oh, yep. Anyway, so I guess first things first, where have I been? I was on vacation. I did absolutely nothing that I said I was going to do during vacation. Instead, I just sort of relaxed. And then I removed myself from the internet for like several days straight. It felt good. Anyway, we're back. So here we are. Sorry for the random duck jump. The jump cut. We got interrupted. Got the little one. Anyway. Hey, so where were we? NFTs, Square. That's right. So Square is another company that is going to making a push for NFTs. Because why not? Seriously, we just need to do a whole thing on nothing but NFT for a bit. But anyway, so Square released this statement going, Happy New Year's, all that good stuff, Merry Christmas, whatever. Oh, and NFTs. And of course, the internet was not too happy about that at all. So they take this entire thing, and this essentially is explaining their reasoning behind this, right? And there's absolutely nothing in here worthwhile looking at, other than maybe a few things. Right, and I've already highlighted the only things really worth looking at through this entire thing, because essentially this is going over, NFTs, it's the future, 5G technologies, cloud, metaverse, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. And yeah. So anyway, some of the things I happened to read and was just like, what are you talking about? But they're sitting here talking about wanting to diversify essentially the field of players out there, right? They want to diversify the what people do, I guess. It's a really weird thing, right? But anyway, they're talking about how they see the play to earn concept has people so excited as a primary example of this. Play to earn. Now, in this context, they're talking about earning NFTs, which anyone in their right mind doesn't give two shits about, right? The problem is, of course, there are plenty of people out there who have been consumed by this thing as if, it's this big thing, and they are throwing money around, as you can look at some of the stuff right here. They're throwing money around at these things, right? I don't get it, especially this thing here. This is apparently the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Bored Ape Yacht Club. Yeah. And they essentially just make randomized things like this. It's procedurally generated images with an NFT on it. Ooh. Anyway, so yeah, they're going with this here, the play to earn concept versus NFTs. Now, from my day and age, I know we're going to go back several years, maybe a few decades at this point. Play to earn is a concept that is nothing new. This is not some new thing that people like the current presidents of, say, Square or Ubisoft or anyone else is attempting to make this sound. Play to earn simply meant this. You played a game and you got things for playing the game, essentially, right? It's like back when Halo was still Halo, right? When Bungie was in control of Halo, and you did things and you did achievements and you hunted down the skulls, so you earned the skulls and all this other stuff. You earned achievements, you earned different kinds of armor pieces, and didn't have to pay an absorbent amount of price to get any of this extra stuff, right? You earned it through gameplay, through doing certain achievements and doing other things. That was play to earn. Now, in this new future of gaming, play to earn is earning an NFT that, quite frankly, if done correctly, actually isn't that bad of a thing, right? The problem is these companies are not going to do it correctly. And I think we're going to just dwell on that on a completely different video, maybe tomorrow, and just talk about just that in general, instead of just, Square Enix right now. But anyway, he goes on to say, because this is the president of, the president and representative director of Square Enix. But yeah, anyway, he goes on to say, I realize that some people who play to have fun and who currently form the majority of players have voiced their reservations towards these new trends, and understandably so. However, I believe that there will be a certain number of people who are motivation is to play to contribute, by which I mean to help make the game more exciting. Traditionally, games have offered no explicit incentives to the latter group of people, who were motivated strictly by such inconsistent personal feelings as goodwill and volunteering spirits. This fact is not unrelated to the limiting of existing UGC's user-generated content. UGCs have been brought into being solely because individuals desire for self-expression and not because of explicit incentives existing to reward them for their creative efforts. I see this as one reason that they haven't been as many major game-changing content that were user-generated as one would expect. Now, the problem with this statement is somebody is completely forgetting the nature of gaming, right? So, for instance, Square Enix makes a Final Fantasy game. Let's see, the next one's going to be Final Fantasy 16. I don't know anything about it. But one would say, if it follows a similar formula of any other Final Fantasy game, it is a single-player RPG narrative-driven game. Now, could people make user-generated content for that game? Absolutely. If they put together a tool or something for people to make like additional missions or something after this game for other people to go, so they're taking on this particular mission, but it's now been created, somebody has gone through and created this thing as like the super duper ultra hardcore mode of that mission kind of deal, and then they have to go play through that with their current party and stuff like that and see if they can make it to the end, and then they can do time trials and all this other stuff. It's doable, right? That of course relies purely on the company to create tools to allow the facilitation of such things like Bethesda is really good at doing that. If you go and play any Skyrim, any Elder Scrolls or Fallout title, there is usually a system in place for you to make mods and other user-generated content. And the only reason, for the most part, that these games have stayed relevant as long as they do is from a lot of the user-generated content for a majority of people. Now, anyway, now with that said, the game has to allow for things to do that. Well, of course, what we're talking about right here is creating an NFT instead. So you do things, you create an NFT by doing things, and somehow you're contributing to the fun and excitement of others. No, that's not how that works, right? And to play to have fun is the majority of people, because yeah, that's everybody who plays a fucking video game. Not gonna lie. And those who create things for different games, like for instance, in this example, we're going to use Skyrim. they do that because that's what they love doing. They enjoy doing that. And we have seen it where, some mods that, are really cool, really great, wind up just never being updated for one reason or another, right? Because the creator has either gotten super busy with, IRL stuff, or maybe they've just lost the passion for updating the mod and all this other stuff because they've moved on to other things at that point. And, yeah, when people do things like this, they do it because they love doing it, and that's how they essentially are playing the game, right? They're creating something to put into the game that they think is really great, really cool, and they like to share that with the community. And we have modding communities the way we do for a multitude of games, from Stardew Valley to Skyrim, Fallout, and anything else that essentially allows you to mod. GTA, there's a vibrant modding community for that as well, among other things. And there is a ton of user-generated content out there. You just have to know where to look for it a lot of the times, because companies like Rockstar and Square and other companies don't exactly facilitate a really easy means or way of going about actually sharing these kinds of things. That's why stuff like Nexus mods exists, is so people can put these things, this user-generated content out there for other people to enjoy. But, again, a lot of this stuff is also PC only. It wasn't until recent times that Bethesda finally gave mod support to the consoles. And as a result, of course, people were very excited for such things. And, who could blame them? Because it really does breathe a lot more into it when you have mod support enabled on a game. However, unfortunately, in my opinion, these reasonings that they keep listing, they're tone deaf and have no idea what's going on, to really put it frankly. But yeah, because NFTs, there's another side to it, right? There's a darker side, I guess you can say. We're not going to get into it in this video. We'll talk about it tomorrow, of course. But there's, in my opinion, a reason why all these people are really getting on board with the NFT thing. Recently we've seen Ubisoft do their thing, and not only was it probably for the worst game imaginable that they could think of to actually test the system on, but it has horribly flopped as a result. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're at right now. And I know I don't have coffee. I'm out of coffee, and I didn't make any more coffee today. So, yeah. But, yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. Square is on the ground with NFTs now. Yay. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I will talk to you later. See ya.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash that like button, and always subscribe for more. And of course, there are other videos floating around somewhere on the screen, so click one of those and see if you can find something that suits your fancy. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye.